Come closer. I've shared many videos. You have some Aikido person and they're going to spar or they're going to do some demo match against somebody from another art, or they're going to deal with a resisting uke. And what you'll always see is they go for a more direct center manipulation. So you see more Koshinage variations and more Sutemi Waza, okay? Where they generate, in Sutemi Waza, a higher work output because they use their whole body to go ahead and pull on the extremities, okay? Then they get enough power to move the center. Or they affect the center directly like Koshinage, okay? Why is that? Because they can't touch the center from here. They can't touch the center from here. What they do instead, and what you guys are doing now, is, in essence, to simplify it, is you pull on this arm, and eventually that's going to pull the shoulder, and then that'll pull the center. Do you see that? That's what's happening here. So eventually you turn until eventually it starts to pull on his skin suit. Do you understand? That's totally different from this. Do you see? You get it? Okay. So some of you are trying to do the yin hand here, and you're like, don't have him, and then you basically pull on this like his skin. You eventually pull it off. You're just doing it down here like this. You're doing it here, and you pull his skin suit until it eventually pulls the shoulder, pulls the spine, and pulls the head, and then the center comes. You see that? And in that delayed manipulation of the majority of his mass, it never works. It won't work. People resist, counter, and things like that. That's why those Aikidoka don't do that, because they don't have control over the person. They have to do Koshinage and Sutemi Waza. Okay? In Kokyu-ho, you don't want to just throw them. You're trying to have control of their center. There's no Kokyu without the Aiki communion at the Tanden. There's no Kokyu. Okay? So don't, and do you understand what I mean by skin suit? You just pull the arm. You're just cutting the arm like that. Eventually the person gets, but it will never happen when they're resisting. Okay? So for example, if he lets go, okay, and I'm here, I'm going to have that Aiki adhesion. Do you feel that? I have the Aiki adhesion, and that's what's moving him. If you pay attention, I don't have a ledge to pull on. You see? Just because he's grabbing here, I don't want to seek ledges. I'm doing an adhesion here at the contact point, and that's what moves him. Puts him back. So I'm now being gripped, but I'm moving that immediately. Move it. Move it back. I'm not doing those ledges. I'm not pulling him. Okay? Try to understand that difference, because what Aiki, if you look at Aikido Kihon Waza, you have another tactical lexicon that allows you to control someone, but at arm's length. But the assumption is that where you touch on the arm, you're actually touching the center. That's a huge assumption nowadays, because no one can touch the center from the arms. They eventually pull the skin suit, and then that moves the center eventually. Do you understand? And that's not gonna, that does not meet the tactical assumption of Kihon Waza. He does whatever, do whatever. Here we go. Whoa! I have to be able to touch. His center. You understand? Not pulling on a skin suit like you pull on someone's gi. Okay? I pull on his gi, and he can move his arm a lot. I pull on his gi, resist however you want, or I'll kick your ass. You see? He reinforces by pulling on that. Okay? If you have, for example, I'm here like this, or let's say I'm here, when he goes to stand up, you'll feel, because I'm in that Aiki communion of center, I'm actually one of his base and supports. And when he tries to get another base and support, which he would have to do to try to get off of the initial control, he's actually taking his line of gravity outside of his base of support, and that's what makes him fall. Okay? That's an assumption that you can touch the center from the extremity directly, not indirectly by pulling a skin suit like you would pull someone's gi. Okay? So let's try it. Don't pull their wrist. Okay? Go. In your mind, you are thinking that you're tilting him. So, we do tilting hands. Which means they're on opposite sides of his center and turning the periphery of his body. So I go here. But if you pay attention, his arms move ever so slightly without his center moving. Do you see that? So here he is. I don't affect his center till about here. Right? So watch for that. So you want to pay attention to his spine as the most gross part to look. But if you can look at his center too. And when does it start to be affected from the position it is in now? Not till there. You guys understand? That is where you are not in control of the person. I'm not in control of the person till there. Okay? This is incorrect. Energetically, that's not correct. And martially, this is a misunderstanding of Kazushi. You're not going to, if you don't control somebody until you lean them, those first 40, 35 degrees is where you're going to get countered, etc. Okay? So when we're here, I already have that center without any tilt. Do you see that? And put him back. Move him this way. Put him back. I'll knock him off, and you'll feel that I'm not letting you fall. Okay? So I'm going to knock him off. You feel it? Okay? So my hands might make one goes up, one may go down, but I need to have the control. So now, as a hand goes up or down, you again see that he's moving immediately. You see? Again, look for his spine. You see no movement, no movement, no movement, no movement, no movement until I get about there. But as I do the other one, look at his spine has already moved. My hands haven't even gotten into that same degree of rotation. So already from here, I'm already moving him, do you see? Already moving him. And that's when the hands are actually following him. Which means it's not that I tilted him and then knocked him over. As he kept his grip and I take him into that kazushi, you see that shoulder's going lower. That shoulder's going higher. You see? Which means this hand's going up, this hand's going down. It's not me going like this. I'm doing this. And then staying with him. That's why this hand is high. This hand is low. Here at the end, keep it. Don't go slack where your hands come in together. What are you keeping? That feeling. That same center connection. Move his center, follow his hands. Keep the same center connection. So he tries to get up, can't get up. Well, I can't pick him up. Okay? So let's try that. Not just turning the wheel. Make that center Aiki communion. Take them off balance. Keep the Aiki communion, center to center, and just follow his hands. Okay? Don't let your hands die at the end. Your hands die at the end, you're going to lose the connection to the center. Because that is the connection point right now. All right, let's try it again. All right, when you know the inside, the outside is not important. Whenever the outside is important, you don't know the inside. Okay? But until you know the inside, don't F with the outside. So my hands are a certain shape. And you want that shape. This is not the 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 shape. It's a certain shape. There's a cup to my palm. And there's a lot of energy extension through these two fingers. My fingers are evenly spread, not weird stuff like Spock. Evenly spread. My hand is not flat with my wrist. There's a cant here. I feel it most in this finger. Pay attention to that middle finger. So I do that same drill, I'm not going to be like this. Om. Things will happen. So, for example, he's falling here on that hand. Instead of changing my shape, I changed the angle. Do you see? He comes up. I keep that shape. Hand shape. Okay, try it again. All right. The yin hand, I think you have to pass through a phase where you are just externally pushing on the center. You get it? I think you have to get rid of the skin suit idea. Okay? Well, when we affect the center, we're not just pushing. Okay, do you understand? Because that'll never work on the yin phase. If you're externally just pushing on the center, when you do a yin phase in your tesabaki, you're going to lose center connection because your hands come in the opposite direction. Okay, so as for example, he's really strong on one side, or he's starting to knock me over, you see? And so you're going to take off some of that with a yin phase of some kind. Do you understand? So right here, if you're here and all you were doing was externally pushing, when you come back, you don't have the center. Do you understand? So you saw how his body came towards me, okay, as an easy example. But there's no reason why your hand can't come back and is still moving his body. You see? You understand? So, in other words, we already talked about the skin suit, and he should be center to center. Manipulation is happening on contact. And so in the same way that I don't use the slack of his shoulders here until I get enough tension in them to now pull on his center. In the same way, I don't want to go here because nothing happened to his body, do you see? Until I now push on those shoulders again. So as if you pay attention, this hand is making a big loop. Do you understand? It should still take him that way. So I'm still in his center, even on the yin phase. Got it? There was one more I saw. That was the one that you used, but you did one too. I think you came this way. Yeah. Okay. So you came around, and you came down. So pressure here, but same thing. In the body. Not after I take all the slack of the skin suit and then I pull on his center. There, in the body. He's coming back towards me. You understand? Okay, so pay attention to the yin phase. It's probably where you're still you're not pulling on the skin suit, but you're taking advantage of the slack in the skin suit. Do you guys get it? Okay, try it again.